Yes, roll of 14.
Yes, sir. May I start, sir?
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to start afternoon session. I am Dr. G.D.Khedkar from G.D.Khedkar College, Mumbai. Today we have very great speaker. I am here for the introduction. Dr. G.D.Khedkar, a distinguished scientist and academician from Paul Herbert Center for DNA Barcoding and Biodiversity Studies, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Professional summary has given here. Academic and research journey. Dr. G.D.Khedkar has been a professor for the past 24 years. He completed his postdoctoral research at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Israel in 2007 to 9 and the John A. Burns School of Medicine, University of the Hawaii, Honolulu, USA, 2012 to 14. In 2025, IIT Roper assigned him as an adjunct faculty. Award and recognition. He is the recipient of several prestigious fellowships and awards, including the Boyce Cost Fellowship, Christie Fellowship, Commonwealth Academic Staff Fellowship, Marie Curie Fellowship, DST Fast Track Young Scientist Award, and UGC Research Award, and the Ideal Teacher Award in 2016. Institutional Building and Leadership. Dr. Khedkar is the founder director of the Paul Herbert Center for DNA Barcoding and Biodiversity Studies, established in 2010. He also served as the director of the Center for Coastal and Marine Biodiversity, CCMB, a satellite center of BAMO located on the west coast of the India in Ratnagiri, where he oversees coastal research programs and ocean informatics for the fisher communities. He is also director, internal quality assurance cell, as well as coordinator, Prime Minister Uchatam Shikshan Abhiyan, their international contributions and collaborations. Representing India on the global stage, Dr. Khedkar has been a member of the Scientific Steering Committee for the International Barcode of the Life Project, Canada, in 2012 to 17 and 2018 to 24. He has also spearheaded the Planetary Biodiversity Mission India, collaborating with 120 universities and 6 nodal centers to map India's center biodiversity using DNA barcoding. Countries visited. Dr. Khedkar visited 42 countries for his scientific collaborations and deliberations. It includes USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Scotland, Russia, Mexico, Belgium, Germany, France, Australia, Japan, Singapore, South Africa, Brazil, China, West Indies, and Sri Lanka. Impact during the COVID-19. So, sir has worked very excellent in COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Khedkar established an ICMR approved COVID-19 diagnostic laboratory within a record time of 1 month. He successfully secured over the 2 crore in CSR funding and facilitated to the testing of 1 million patient swabs, making a significant contribution to society and the government. Research and academic contribution. PhD mentorship guided 10 PhD scholars to completion, with 9 currently pursuing their research under the supervision of the sir. And additionally, 30 master students have completed their dissertation under the sir's supervision. Then publication and patent. Published over the 130 research articles in the reputed journals, authored 3 books and edited 1 book, and secured 2 patents and 2 technologies. Then editorial and review roles. Service as a reviewer for over 15 Scopus listed journals, evaluating numerous research manuscripts also. Training and capacity building. Organized 12 national and 3 international workshop on DNA barcoding, trained over the 1,200 researchers, students, and faculty members, lectures and scientific outreach. Sought after the speaker, Dr. Khedkar has delivered over the 300 invited talks, keynote addresses, and inaugural lectures in the past 5 years. New research initiatives, health, genomics, and livestock preservation. Dr. Khedkar and his research team has recently launched a health genomics initiative to investigate recurrent implantation failure in human subjects, epigenetic mechanism in cervical cancer recurrence, male infertility, oral cancer, utilizing cutting-edge approaches such as metagenomics, transcriptomics, and tumor genomics. Additionally, the government of Maharashtra has funded him to develop the strategies for the conserving native livestock breeds of Marathwada, including Devni and Lal Kandhari cattle and Usmanabadi goat. He has also established a state-of-the-art animal house facility at his center. Thank you, sir, and welcome here. We all are request to you. Please deliver your lectures and give us different types of the knowledge of your areas. Thank you, and I hand over my mic to you, sir.
Thank you. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And I'm audible to you?
Visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good. So I think most of the participants are from different streams, like art, commerce, science, everything. I'm right?
Yes, sir.
And there are out of state also, out of Maharashtra?
Yes, sir. Out of Maharashtra also.
Okay, fine. Then it is always good to talk in English. So I hope I will try to cope up with every one of you. And my time will be up to 5:30 in the evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
5:30 to 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. So what we will do, 4 o'clock we will take 4:30 we will take one break. So first lecture we will finish there. So I think instead of talking on my specific research work, it is always good to talk something which is of interest for every one of you. I'm right?
Yes,
Should
sir.
should I go ahead with this topic, mentoring?
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So, see, I understand you guys will be here for 21 days for this program online, and it is an important time of your life. Spending 21 days is a very big time. And in that, spending 3 hours with me is also very big time, because 3 hours into at least 50, 60 participant must be there. So combining that hours, if you took now, it is a huge time. So I really respect your sincere efforts and time in making possible to attend this program, because this is a high time for all academic institutes. New admissions going on, so hectic everything, and so exciting also. In that time, you are spending your time here in attending this course is also appreciable. And I must congratulate you and your institute for deputing you for this online orientation program. So with this brief thing, I will just go on one new area, the mentoring and academics. After this launch of NEP 2020, 2018 onward, we started listening the word mentoring. And this become like a pop-up thing in academics nowadays. Everywhere people were talking about mentoring and, mentoring, mentor-related, mentor-mentee relationship, mentor-related activities, and more focus is being given to this. Before coming this word to academics, in India at least, this was very popular word in industrial, industrial sector. So in most of the industrial and corporate sectors, mentoring is very commonly been used. And it is also practiced also. And that was having a lot of, good outcome of this mentoring in industries as well as corporate sector. So after launching CBCS program, the mentoring has become, little acquainted with us. So 2016, we started entering into the UGC guidelines, and accordingly, we were doing some syllabus revamping. And then there was some provisions were made for mentor-mentee. Then there some weightage is also given for your man hours spent on, guiding and mentoring the students. So that was a real beginning of this mentoring into academics. Now in NEP 2020, we are having, very high scope for mentoring and mentoring related activities. So in that sense, I feel it is more relevant to discuss this important topic with you. And this is not like a lecture, but I just want to have like a collaborative talk. So I appreciate everyone's participation during this 1.5 hours deliberation. So feel free, you can stop me anytime. You can share your ideas. You can interrupt me. So I will be very happy, and I think hope everyone will be happy with everyone's interventions. So if we look at the mentoring, so that perspective of mentoring is very old, and in most of our mythological stories also, and in holy books, the importance of mentoring is written. You must be knowing the story of Mahabharata. So in Mahabharata, actually, officially, we never treat this story as a mentoring, but if you look at the Krishna, so I think this is the best example of mentoring. How everything been, at every stage of life, he tried to help Arjuna, and he tried to, move forward the story of this Mahabharata. So you can see what is the best example, I think, ever you can see in the ancient books or any other holy books, how nice mentoring can be done, and what was the outcome of this mentoring. So how perfect advices which are, like a time tested. You can go at any age, and you would at any age also. The whatever mentoring words or whatever advice has been done by Sri Krishna, I think that will be worthwhile for any time scale you look. Go back or go forth. Doesn't matter. I think this is the best example ever we had in the beginning of the mentoring. Then, if you look at the term mentoring, actually this is a Greek word, and from there this term been originated. But in true sense, if you look at the Indian scenario, we are much advanced before what Europeans were saying, and when they were talking about mentoring. But we were much ahead to them, because the real beginning of mentoring is, I believe, is Mahabharata. Then you must be knowing another inspiring story of what is meant by mentoring. The one single story of Chanakya and Chandragupta Maurya. I think there is no much explanation is required in telling what one mentor can do. Earlier story is also one of the beautiful and most impactful example what one mentor can do. This is a second, what one mentor can do. Here, mentor's insight in choosing someone to do some job with 100% delivery. I think Chanakya is the most successful mentor in my words. And his mentee, Chandragupta Maurya, one ironic example, he has set forth. And what assumption he was having and what faith he was having in his own mentoring capabilities, I think there is no parallel example to share. Similarly, if you look into Maharashtrian perspective, and now it is for whole Indian perspective, look at the Ma Jijau and Shivaji Maharaj. So what mentoring capabilities you can just look at the story of Shivaji Maharaj. So with scratch, she imbibed a dream of making one independent kingdom to a just like 7, 8 year olds son-in-law, means not son-in-law, a son, grandson, and he has put her whole efforts in making him the best warrior, a best human being, a best king of the contemporary time. And I think the mentoring abilities had put all these efforts in a sense. This example can never be ruined off in front of any examples we'll set in coming days or past in the history. I think this is a best mentoring ability or capacity Jijauma was having and who has been imbibed. So there are some other examples also. Transboundary, you can see, you must be knowing Karate Kid, one of the beautiful real story. So Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso, they put one beautiful efforts in making one cinematic, mentorship example in Karate Kids. Here, some of you might have already seen the Karate Kids and how beautifully he carved one, directionless young guy or teenager to a best warrior, and who was burning in taking revenge. Means he want to take a revenge and he was burning in that sensation. But best mentorship by Miyagi and others bring him to a nice warrior, and he has devoted his whole efforts in making a like a voice against the injustice. So that was a whole story being told in the cinematography. If you look at nowadays, whenever someone is talking about mentorship, we are just downloading some images like this from the ChatGPT or some Google related portals and just trying to seek if someone is holding someone's hand and trying to pull him up. Do this is just a meaning of mentor. In my opinion, I think this is not a meaning exactly of what we are expecting mentorship in academics. It is much more than that. So the earlier examples I was telling, they belong to different field, but the context of mentoring is similar, whether it is academics, whether it is politics, whether it is business, or whether it is a religion, or whether it is uh, some different sector. The meaning is similar to bring out the best possible things from a mentee and to reach him to a set goal where he need to be placed. And I think that is the most important message of mentoring, not being just pulling someone and bringing, but not allowing him to go above you. The examples I was showing, in all these examples, the mentee has crossed the boundaries and he has proved himself much better than his mentors. I think in academics, this is very much required for we guys, because we are like whatever youngest one sitting in this class, whatever you are there, but you and your student is having at least 10 to 15 generations gap, at least 10 to 15. And that gap, pardon me, that gap, we need to always consider in a sense that next generation is much superior. And that's why we must expect something much superior than what we did in contemporary time of our education. So in that sense, we always believe our mentees are really required much than what we expect. And we can bring so many good things from them to make them a best citizen, best successful person, or whatever sector he is belonging, he can be the best person for that sector. I think with this message, I want to proceed ahead with the few different parts of the mentoring activities. Just let me know from every one of you, I'm understandable to you, what I am talking, my language, my voice. You are seeing everything clearly. Someone
Yes,
can
sir.
take charge.
Slide is visible and you are audible.
Fantastic. And my language is also okay, understandable.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is there any problem? Anyone who want to share something, you are always welcome. How many all total participants? How many total participants in this class?
34, sir.
36, sir.
36.
Ah,
So I think this is not a very big number. Yeah. So in that sense, now we will move ahead with the remaining things. So I hope everything is well aligned and you are used to with my language and everything. So I will just say few things here and then we will start. Okay. So what is academic mentoring? Now question is coming. A lot of time now we really, one second, now we really don't understand. Okay, so we don't understand several times ki what is mean by mentoring, what need to be done. A lot of us have just fulfilled the criteria required for the NAC, criteria required for other things that we try to do. Several times, but I think in the real sense, touching mentoring is really important for us, and for that we need to understand what is meant by mentoring. So it is a structured guidance process that nurtures academic, professional, and personal growth. So in teaching, what is expected from us in teaching, whatever we do, the activities in our classes. So we must know one important thing. In case of these three things, teaching, then another is guiding, and third is like a mentoring. So these three things parallelly going. So in teaching, we usually do one thing, means we usually ask students ki that is what you need to know. Likewise, we ask during teaching, and this is like a teacher's role. Then in guiding, this is one way you can proceed ahead. In that way, we usually guide our students. And in mentoring, I am here to help you grow into a person and a profession, what you want to become. In that way, there is a very faint line between teaching, guiding, and mentoring. But in real sense, if you look, teachers can be the best mentors ever. And usually, it is a structured guidance process that nurtures academic, professional, and personal growth. If you look at the terminology, what we took in case of mentoring, this terminology actually was originated, though I was giving you some of the historical or mythological examples, but in academics, this terminology is fully been addressed and endorsed in most of the Western countries. So these universities are really following the mentoring activities very effectively and giving 100% to their students. And that is one of the reason, if you can see most of the education, means most of the graduates taking degrees from Western world. You take example from European universities, American or UK and other parts of the world. You can see usually frustration can never be seen with a student who is obtaining a university degree or a first or second degree. They got full insights into what they are studying, what is future for that, and what they can do independently. In that way, they've been mentored and nurtured in their academic activities, which give them full confidence. And that way, mentor-mentee is highly respectfully been practiced in these Western parts. Here, what is happening? If you look at another difficulty of the story is in Western parts, you can see the teacher-student ratio is usually low. That means usually one student, one teacher is handling 7 to 8 students. It is a ratio up to 10 at the most. And that's why the mentoring activity been done very focused way and very, precisely, which is largely benefiting the graduates in their universities. Here, our problems are little different. We are having a lot of students simultaneously. Everyone is busy with some academic as well as administrative activity. Number of teachers are less. Then again, you are having one another question is permanent, non-permanent. So these things are putting us in a very different situation, and that's why academic mentoring need to be addressed properly, and for that purpose we need to understand it properly. That was the main motive for this lecture. So another way, another impartial means imparting part of academic mentoring is it build confidence, competence, and clarity in educational pathway. Means whatever you are studying, whatever papers you are selecting, what courses you are advising to select, what deficiency you find in your mentee. Accordingly, you can guide him where he can go and what he can do in the next pathways, means journey of his life. So in that way, you become academic mentor. Why it is required more in our country? You can see most of you must be parents, and your kids must be going to son or daughter must be going to higher education also. You can see most of the time our wards, they always believe that you don't know anything about what I'm talking. In that way, they usually talk. So that's why there is a gap between parents and their son or daughter. So what happens? This gap is day by day, this gap is expanding. And that's why what earlier mentoring was happening at family because of joint families, majority cases. So what mentoring earlier was happening, that been stopped nowadays. And that's why even up to, like a junior school, uh, up to 10th or at the most up to 7th class, you are having little chances to mentor them, but later on they become independent and they think they know much better than their parents. And in that sense, teacher's role is becoming more crucial. And in that sense, we need to be, as a teacher, we need to be very much, acquainted with the activities involved in the academic mentoring. Our role and responsibility is more. So it should be in developing confidence, building like a competence, and bringing clarity to the students vision. Then also another part of mentoring is creates long-term network of collaborations and success. This is also one of the important aspect of mentoring. Here we never need to see that my student is, this year I am teaching one paper, that's why he is my student. Next semester, I don't know anything about what he is doing. This is not at all suiting with the mentoring activity in academics. So as once you are entering into a student's life as a mentor, your association should be very, very long term. And that long term is not only one-sided, like students go and ask you questions and solve his problem. It is not like at one stage he will be much superior than you. That time he can become your co-mentor for your next batch of the students. That way we need to build a chain of collaborations, and we need to build a network of these things. Similar thing you can look into industries is happening very oftenly. You guys must be knowing one thing. Recently, there was one movie, Make in India, Titan Story. You might have seen how beautiful mentoring activities they try to put into their staff, and even they are helping other their like competitors also to solve their problems through their mentoring activities. I think similar thing is every industrial sector or corporate sector, these things are very commonly happening. Now it is our turn as academicians. We need to think about these three important things what we need to do in mentoring activity. Now look at the little small pathways of mentoring. So usually the mentoring practice we are having, one side is a mentor. So he gives some task and trainings to his students, orient him, inspire him, so that he orient in a way that they should use the resources available with them, and he inspire them to motivate in taking the challenges and address the issues what his mentee is doing. Another, simultaneously, because of this mentoring activities of one faculty, he is having a lot of peer groups also. His colleagues, his senior students, some of the successful students, that way they also help in mentoring. Another side, as academicians, we most of us do PhD students, guide them. So these students also become immediate mentoring activities to your young students, or recently added student in your list of a mentee. Then you are having like another peer groups. So that peer group means a lot of other people. So depending on your availability and capability, you can advise them. But in between, if you feel I am not sufficient here to address some issues of XYZ student, that time I can use my peer support group and I can refer him. This can be an appropriate person. You can go and get advice from him. He will help you. I will just go and talk to him and he will help you in resolving your XYZ issue. Similarly, at workplaces also, a lot of time you are getting the mentoring activities. That means from your peon to your head of the department, or sometime peon to vice chancellor, they can be the part of mentoring practice. Because in a system, whenever we are talking as a system, every element is important. Every element means what we are talking at present, to our understanding about our student, is the last element in university system. So I think that should not be the consideration. It should be the consideration that student is at the center, and whatever our higher administration, academic profiles, and student profiles, all these things should interlink to each other, and we should have the best effective mentoring practices. That means personal mentoring to institutional mentoring to departmental mentoring, all these things are there. And simultaneously, it is an important role of any mentee or mentor to involve the home support also, because that is the most important part of his life student is spending with them, or he been associated with them from his birth. So mentoring activity is one of the integrated network of lot many things. I am alone sometime if I'm claiming I am the only mentor, so I think I'm not wrong. I'm not correct in that sense. So why mentoring matters? So usually because of best mentoring, the first three example you can see. I think there is the only answer you can see about why mentoring matters. From zero to hero, you can produce. From scratch to one of the most influential person in his field can be placed by a best mentor. And that's why mentoring matters a lot. So usually it enhances student engagement and academic performance. Then it supports mental well-being and reduces academic stress. It accelerates research productivity and innovation, and also strengthens institutional culture and leadership pipelines. So all these things really matters, and for that purpose, mentoring is important, because without mentor, all these activities would never be possible for any student to get learn or to get essence of these things. And that's why mentoring is really important in academics. Now, there are four examples of mentoring. One is now you can classify yourself which type of example you are following. Traditional mentoring is top down, that means one to one. One expert, that means me and my students will sit in a room and I will, whatever I will tell. So maybe this voice or no voice, I and him. He is a beginner and I am expert or experienced person. In that way, I will try to transform majority things from my end to the noise. So this is traditional mentoring. Then next is coming the mentoring forward. It is called top-down approach. So top-down and horizontal approach. What do we do? Passing one mentor learning and then establishing successful mentorships. For example, one already mentored who is practicing nice. So I will have my mentor and I will ask my already mentored mentee to help him out. So this is called mentoring forward. This network can be huge. You can have multiple downward means practiced mentors to your young mentor. So that way mentoring forward can work. Then third is coming like a team mentoring. Here different people from different fields can come, and it is also top down approach. So that team having different expertise will address the issues and guide your mentee. So expert to know is here also. And this is most impactful mentoring, because I always see at one thing in my own perspectives, but when their second person is coming, he may have different perspectives to looking at the what I am thinking. So likewise, team mentoring can be much effective, and always it is accessible. One person, if he is absent, so mentoring for mentee getting mentorship or advices get delimitation. But if there is a team, then he can find out. Sometime no, your mentoring style, if some student don't understand and don't appreciate, that time they should not have, they may not have opportunity to go ahead. But in team mentoring, I can have more association with the person who can impact me much. And I believe which is most useful for me. In that sense, team mentoring is the most effective one. Next is coming like a peer mentoring. It is a horizontal, shifting responsibilities, pooling skills. Usually we do in our PhDs, here for our PhD students. What we do, usually we shift our new registrants to our senior PhD students, and we ask him, you just guide him and you train him in doing XYZ these things, and you forget. Your senior students, then they take part of that and they become a real mentor to them. And this is the most effective mentorship activity going in majority of the laboratories in the university departments. And same thing we are doing for our teaching also. Sometime you are asking your PhD students to do some teaching, so that time also some of the things what he has picked from you, he try to put them. So like peer mentoring is working in that sense. So it is shifting of responsibility. At a time, I can do multitasking and I can guide many people, putting the, shifting the responsibilities. So these four type of mentoring activities we need to practice. Wherever applicable, we can shift into 1 to 2. It is not like I am doing 1 to 1 that I am comfortable. It is not. You can use mentoring forward, you can use team mentoring, or you can use a peer mentoring. So where mentoring should be started? You can see is a big question. A lot of time we don't understand. So usually whenever student is coming to his first semester, so that time, faculty mentoring. So usually we need to see him in academic success in the first semester to second semester. We need to see him into that perspective. So in academic success, usually faculty mentoring is important, and that should happen at that time in the entry of the students. Then next is coming the peer-to-peer mentoring. That means sometime if you are bringing your students and new batch has come, so you can understand them in the first semester, and then selective students, you can mentor your students already who are, peers. So we can tell him additional points related to next coming batches. So accordingly, he need to modify. So in that way, peer to mentoring can happen. And then later on, what happens after finishing first semester, they become little bit acquainted with the department. Then we can ask the senior students to mentor them. Means they become mingled with them, and that time, the concept related to bullying or troubling them, or sometime, in worst words, like you are ragging. So they usually get out of everything and little bit become comfortable with the seniors. So that time senior to junior mentoring can be practiced. In second semester, you need not look at the corporate mentoring, alumni mentoring, or international mentoring. This mentoring is not required for the newcomers. So only first semester That said, academic mentoring can be passed. And later on, when they are becoming to, no, at same time, one professional touch also we need to give in the department. So at the beginning only we need to start, and then academic mentoring or academic mentoring related to academic success and professional success will stop there. Then second semester, third semester, or fourth semester, we need to look at corporate mentoring, alumni mentoring, and international mentoring, so that he can have look at what perspective I can have in the corporate sector. Then he can look into success story of his alumnus of his own department, and then he can look into what perspective I can have globally. So that way, mentoring stages and mentoring activity, what should be focused, and what way the programs of mentoring activities can be scheduled. I think this is a simple example to share with you. Let me ask every one of you, you are still getting what I am saying properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So fine. Someone can take a responsibility. Otherwise, I will go on talking. And if there is, I miss something, will be difficult for me. So now we are coming to innovative mentoring strategies. You can see a lot of things are available nowadays. Even there are many paid programs also for mentoring activities. A lot of private universities and some of the international universities or institutes are following. But for every one of this may not be possible. So in that sense, we can look into the innovative strategies, and we can learn from them, and we can practice them for our students, because our students are updating every second to them themselves. And that's why we also, being a mentor or being a teacher, we also need to be updated ourselves. And that's why some innovative mentoring strategies we need to follow. So very first is the reverse mentoring for technological upskilling. For example, reverse mentoring means what we need to do sometime. You need to bring few things from your mentees, and then update them scientifically, and then upgrade the skills. So likewise, upskilling of technological skills can be done. So this is reverse mentoring. In that reverse mentoring, mentor is also updating himself with his mentee. Then next is coming next innovative mentoring is portfolio based progress tracking. Portfolio based progress tracking means whatever your mentee, ex mentees, how they are progressing themselves because of your mentoring activities, you need to put them into a tabular perspective. How he has overcome, what problem he got, how he has overcome, where is now. In that way, you can build a portfolio. So you will be very clear about your mentoring abilities and your inputs on mentoring activity, how they put the mentee to the best possible position. So that's why portfolio based tracking related some online programs you can get. Then third is coming like a little higher level we are going now. Research incubation cells and innovation cultures. So some mentoring activities nowadays in every institute, college or universities, government is looking to have incubation centers. So where abilities of a mentor are limited to his subject. In that sense, research incubation cells and innovation cultures clusters can be built, and there your mentee can be pushed forward so that he can get a different experience of a different world, which is like a buffer between professional life and academic life. So whatever your mentoring activities or your teaching activities, whatever he gain the knowledge, then how this knowledge can be used to a real world can be decided in these incubation cells and innovation clusters. So there also mentoring strategies can be very nicely practiced, and uh, can be put put to your students on a right track. And now everyone is acquainted with this AI assisted personalized learning pathways. Now your chat GPT can be even your mentor, but there is a warning. We are not fully sure about what chat GPT or any AI platform, what he's going, how he's respond to your questions, so we don't know. So in that sense, it is little bit risky. But when the mentor is using such type of tools, then it can be more effective, because mentor is an independent person and he knows what his students are required. So that way, AI assisted personalized learning pathway can be suggested from a mentor to his mentee would be more effective and beneficial as compared to independent mentee based adoptions. So that's why all mentoring strategies should be decided by a mentor, and that should be after testing and after getting some results, building portfolio based progress tracking. He can suggest such type of portfolio to his peers or then his mentees. So that way, innovative mentoring strategies can be applied in different way and with different perspectives, where students will get more confidence than your any either of the platforms or generative AI. So this is important. Now, looking at the digital tools for mentoring, you can see there are learning management systems, where learning management system itself is a 50% doing mentoring activity. It is wonderful having LMS. Anyone from our participant group is acquainted with LMS? May I get an answer from you? Anyone know about LMS in this class? Hmm?
No, sir.
No one is knowing this. So LMS is been practiced in majority of the IITs in India, and 100% Western universities, they are using LMS. So LMS is a beautiful platform. Here you can get timings of your lectures, guidance for everything. Then your lectures online, you can put your classes, schedule everything. You can know what different programs going on in the university. You immediately learn. Then your teaching notes, your examinations, your papers, test, your marks, your opportunities, placement drives, everything you can get at one place on the learning management system. Here, they will warn you about your fees payments. They will warn you about your examination schedules, reschedules, your hall tickets. You need not bother anything. You just need to put in your either your iPad, your computer, or your mobile phone. Learning management system will give every opportunity. Then another thing, nowadays learning management system also giving broadcasting the live lectures also. Doesn't matter whether you are in class or not, doesn't matter, LMS can give that much opportunity. Then LMS can make your practices also through different modules of online examinations, online interviews, online YOC examinations. All these things can bring together in one LMS. So that's why it is a very nice mentoring tool for you, which will show you path, which will warn you, which will aware you, and which will help you in choosing best classes also and learning the success stories. So LMS is one of the indispensable part of the higher education in the arena of 2020 new education policy. Then virtual labs and simulation tools very effectively been practiced in case of medical sciences, in case of health sciences like dental or physiotherapies, and in engineering also, because you want to build one bridge. So what, how it will look, what type of accidents can happen, what type of vibration it can give, how much material will be required. So all such type of imaginations you can do using virtual labs and simulation tools. And that is one of the important part of mentoring. So here you can mentor them the skills which are not being taught in your regular curriculum or in your regular laboratories or practicals. So it help them to bring out something. Then online collaborative platforms is also one of the important aspect. So these online collaborative platforms, you can find many. So you can choose one based on the track and portfolio built up. And such collaborative platforms can help you in effective mentoring. People can get your examples, learn your students' examples, and can move forward. Then e-portfolio for student progress analysis. Many of them are available. For example, if I am teaching today, so how many of you are really considering this topic belongs to me, or it is required for me? So without this analysis, I just selected one topic and I'm just talking to you. If it is of no use for you, or you don't want to listen this, or already you have gone through such type of lectures from some, very light faculties, why you need to waste your time? So likewise, e-portfolio can be built. And in that sense, you can build what students really need. These portfolios will give you a best insight about what is thinking ability of your student, what knowledge base they are building every day in your classes, or in your department, or in your college, or in your class. So such platforms help you in building the portfolio and progression analysis. Accordingly, they can help in back, in reverse way. They can help you in building digital, mentoring activities, so that all the aim of this mentoring is to make it more and more efficient and keep space with the, progressing students and their mentors. So now we can come a little bit functional things. Majority of you must be doing it and must be knowing also it. But I just have a few things to share with you in different perspective that I'm going to tell you here. Usually, mentoring responsibilities provide academic clarity and constructive feedback. It is very important for a mentor. So based on looking at your student and looking at his progress, you need to provide clear academic clarity to him. And then we must give a clear feedback. Rather, majority of the time we say, no, this is not possible. This is not, your ability, or it is not your capacity to do this thing. Such things are really not, should not be with our mentors. Means mentors should not be, think in this way. Sometimes we talk about the students. You don't know anything about how you are doing this course or how you came here. So this is the negative side of, mentoring. Positively and more responsibly, mentor should bring clarity and make a constructive feedback, give a constructive feedback to his mentee, so that based on your feedback and everything, he try to improvise himself, and that can be mapped in future cycles. Inspire independent thinking and creativity is the most important job of mentor. You can see, in if you look at the your you must be looking at the WhatsApp or Facebook, how beautiful posts people are putting there. Sometimes we really get amazed with the most of the posts. But when it is coming to academics, have you seen any time any student is having so beautiful idea and he's, carving it and he's bringing it forward? Usually it don't happen. So in WhatsApp, they are having a lot of creativity in making reels, in making the, some of the stories in Facebook. They are more creative. When it is coming to class, where this creativity go? When this creativity in their professional life, you can see, hardly you can see any teacher is more creative and having something else to do. But if you look at their thinking ability in like a social media, and their ability to think and deliver themselves into real world or real life, there is a mismatch. So this mismatch, why it is happening, I definitely say, yeah. कोणतरी बोलताय ते माईक ऑफ करा. So this mismatch, I think the answer is laying there. Ki little bit mentoring activity becomes short to them during their studentship. Otherwise, they would be equal creative in academics and professional life. Take example of many examples, but I will tell you only 2-3 examples here. You must be knowing like a story of Microsoft, how beautifully they put their symbol. Similar stories with the Apple. Showing that Apple and putting that symbol on your car, your bike, at your residence. Students feel so proud on that. What beautiful creativity! What simple, just one apple cut on one side, but how nice creativity they have seen. You can see most of the places if you are going to a, western parts, or if you are looking at the universities, or you can look many things in movies and many things we are seeing. Everywhere you will see the creativity, beautiful things in laboratories, in classes, universities. So beautiful things they are having. You now look at Indian scenario, how our classes are creatively been kept. I think 100% creativity been. You can't see any creativity in any university campuses or any classrooms. Most of the universities so far we are exposed. Uh, Second thing, you can look at the engineering knowledge. Our engineers, many engineers coming, they are building big structures, but look at the creativity. It has been lost every creation. You can look at the corporate buildings nowadays and look at the government buildings where this creativity has gone. So I think somewhere we never inspire them to think independently and uh, may become creative. We have kept that door closed forever. And students also, after finishing their activity, they follow their peers, and that way, that door remain always closed. So creativity and independent thinking can bring several things out. I will tell you an important thing. Once in Europe, you must be knowing the Pasteur Institute. So I visited the Pasteur Institute. In front of Pasteur Institute, there is a statue of a dirty dog. It's a mad dog, which died because of rabies, and his statue been kept in front of that Pasteur Institute, one of the most prestigious institute in the world of vaccinations. So what is a drive, what is the thinking or creativity behind keeping that dog? Because of the mad dogs, they try to create the first vaccine, and this dog is at the behind of the that whole creativity or independent thinking, and that's why he's more respected. Because of him, we guys are alive, because we are getting vaccination properly and getting rid of many diseases. So what beautiful thinking and beautiful creativity they did. Now come back and look at our universities, our colleges. Can you see any such type of creativity? I think what mentoring we required of our contemporary time, somewhere we missed it. So I have several examples to share with you like this. So that inspiration really required for everyone who is becoming a professional. If at your education institute or during his studentship, if he is not making independent thinking and not have the creative thinking ability developed, so things will happen like what our government buildings we are having. Then another thing important in mentor responsibility is the facilitate network of networking and research opportunities. There are many places you can see the students become much superior to their PhD guides or their supervisors or their mentors, because they got beautiful mentoring activities. Whole Western world is highly developed because there is a research and genuine research being done by them. Then important thing is, they build best networks. Hardly here you can see collaboration between two teachers in one institute, whether it is college or university, you will see very few examples. Then third thing is the conducive environment for forming network, also very important. Here we are bind with so many things. When you want to build a network, you will see the person really he belongs to me, my caste, my like a community. Then later on I can think on many gender, many things. Do he is having rivalry with someone else? Do he will be surpass me in that way? But in majority of the developed countries, such thoughts are having no value, and usually networking become powerful, and that's why the creativity, the independent thinking, as well as constructive thinking, and looking at us at problems with a larger perspective become easier for them, and that's why they have little problems to solve, and that's why many innovations also been done so groundbreaking. So mentoring is at the base in majority of these stories. And now contrasting, it is not like one-handed journey or one-side journey. Here, mentee also they need to have some responsibilities. So set clear academic and personal goals. So mentee must have something in his mind. Then engage activity and seek guidance. He should be very trustful with his mentor. Whatever engagement activity and guidance been given, he should strictly follow it. Maintain discipline and follow up. That means my mentor is very good. That means I should not put my hands on his shoulder and walk through. It should not be. So we must have this the faint line between the professionalism we need to follow. So that I we need to very nicely been maintained, and demonstrate openness to learning and growth. Means guide is saying that means he is putting me on more work. That feeling mentee should never bring to his mind. He should have full faith in your you know mentorship, and that faith when it will build when you are having examples of success stories you are having. So for that purpose these are the both responsibilities. If you are more successful, your mentee are more successful, then in that case your young mentee will definitely follow and show the openness. Should we take a break of 5 to 10 minutes now? Excuse me.
Oh, no, it's fine, fine.
5 मिनिटाचा 10 मिनिटाचा घ्यायचा.
हो चालेल सर. येस.
हो सर.
अलाउड आहे ना तो?
हो 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 सर.
Okay, so we'll join back in. This is now 4:04. So 4:15 we will join back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And give me your comments also if you are not understanding me somewhere. And if you feeling, sir, this is too primary you are talking, I will avoid these things. Okay. Thank you. Ali?
यायला म्हणलं गेले तुम्हाला सर विचारत होते ना, तुम्हाला सर विचारत होते आत्ताच एक 5 मिनिट झाले. तुम्हाला सर बरोबर ना? मी बघतो ना जगाचं काय चाललंय, बघितलं पाहिजे ना.
नाही बघा.
आणि मग झाला का चहा पाणी झाला? हा
Is everyone back now? I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So should I start again? Everyone joined meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So welcome you back. We have seen the mentor responsibilities, mentee responsibilities. Now we can see impact of effective mentoring. How it is more important, and how it can prove the mentee's abilities for the professional world. So when you are having effective mentoring, so usually the improved academic outcome is certain 100%. So with your good mentoring activities, you can be sure about the academic outcome. Whatever my students, they will do the best possible at their end. Then second part, if you are having good mentoring at your classes and your degree programs, high research output and innovations can be expected from such nicely nurtured students when they are acting their self as a researcher. Then next is common like a stronger emotional resilience in the students. Very important part nowadays, most relevant to today's era, is stronger emotional resilience in the students. You can see. I must tell you one very small story. during COVID-19, it was over, and we got one very bright master students. Her name was Pallavi. She was one of the bright student in my class. And I always observed her. She was giving answers like a professionally, and like a very senior academician, very pinpointed. But always I have seen her lost somewhere in the classes also. I was always thinking she is always having a lot of thoughts in her mind. And later on, she joined for PhD program. Whenever she was applying and appearing some examinations, for sure she was getting good position, good marks, even many time appreciation letters or first or second awards. So she qualified NET, she qualified GATE, she qualified UGC CSIR, GRF. Yeah. Simultaneously, she has even qualified the DBT associateship also. So that way she was doing, and she joined for PhD program. And that was my, after the, COVID-19 lockdown, that was the first PhD induction program. I was giving lecture, very first lecture. She was sitting at the one corner of the room near window. And I was just talking about research methodology and many things I was talking. So from bottom of heart, I was talking about many things. Several times I got distracted because I feel she's not attending and giving attention to what I'm saying. So it was little bit hurting me as a teacher, because when I was preparing a lot and talking something from bottom of my heart, it was expected that everyone should listen, like today's class also. So once I stopped in between and I asked why you are not concentrating, I believe. She said, no, sir, I'm here only, I'm concentrating. And that way, but it was not my satisfaction. I decided in my mind that after lecture will be over, so I can call her, or I will ask what is the problem. Let us talk on what you are thinking and what problems you are having. So that was my assumption that after finishing class, I will call her. Class smoothly went on, finished it, and then a lot of question answers started. In between, when she left class, I missed it. And I was feeling, I asked someone, where she has gone. I want to talk to her. Someone said, sir, she went home. I don't know, but she went home very in rush, and that's why she was not there to talk to you. So I felt very bad, but I was in between, I was feeling why she was so much absent today in the class. And being an intelligent student, I am always concerning about, because if she is not understanding and to her level, if I'm not reaching, no, I was feeling bad about that. So that happened, and then I forget, I came home, and in the evening by 9:30, I got a call from one of my colleague in the department. He said, sir, Pallavi has suicided today. She hanged herself. And so shocking for me. Then, everything has finished. Then specifically, I went home and I talked to her parents also. So they were like a paramedical workers, both of them. So I spoke with them, and I tried to understand what should be the problem. But unfortunately, the real information has not came out. But then I realized when I was talking to her, her friends in the class and that, so she was suffering with severe OCD and anxiety also. So if she would have properly treated at the time, if I would have that opportunity to talk to her that day, would have given me more, means 100% I was sure I would have saved her life. Now, question is coming regarding my ability. Before that, I was also not aware about most of the things related to mental well-being. Just looking at her, I try to see something, and later on. But this example, and later on, one example happened in our department was one guy, he suicided himself, but he put petrol and he hold her, classmate also, and both of them died. So that was another problem associated to mental well-being. So that was a PhD program, and this Pallavi was from just beginning for the PhD program. So here, very strongly, I believe I would have better mentoring abilities that time, I would have served both the places, me and my colleagues also in the department. But we can't sense what is happening to student, how mentally he's, struggling. We don't understand that. And that's why, after that experiences, I did two things. One is I prepared this lecture, and many places, whenever I am getting opportunity to talk to teachers, I'm just talking on this. Second thing, in the university, as I'm looking as a director of PM Usha program, our university got 100 crores. So in this 100 crore program, we, like conceptualize a stress buster center and recreational facility in the university. So this stress buster center and recreation facility, we created a beautiful building of 9 crore rupees now. It is under development. Here, you will get free counseling. If you feel something, student can go there, try to get rid of its struggle, his mental pressure, his anxiety or OCD, whatever. He will get a proper advice, proper counseling, and thus we can save many of the lives. So that was a one thing I try to, as a mentor, I try to put into bigger perspective. Started with my department, I found my abilities were short, and that may have prevented some suicides. So not I am only not responsible, though my department, but departmental mentoring failed somewhere. And based on that, on a large perspective, we created a big facility. So it is like a putting something into perspective and applying for a larger. This experience was a smaller scale. We want to apply for a larger scale. Now, I must share an important aspect about this, although that part is coming in next slides. But after this stress buster center, we put some money, around 40 lakh rupees, for mental well-being of the students in the university. Last year, we conducted 22, mental well-being programs for the students from beginning, after admissions till examination. 22 programs altogether, 1,800 students participated in this, and you will surprise, around 12 to 13% students we found they need support in their mental well-being, in releasing their thinking complexes. 6 students in one class we found, and there were around 55 students we found they were reaching to the suicidal thoughts. So what based on this, we have rigorously trained them, we have rigorously set some sessions for them through our psychology department, and we try to tackle the issue. As a mentor, I think understanding this problem and putting into large perspective was possible, and that become now one of the motivation for many of the teachers and senior students in the university to look in different perspective for the students who are not performing somewhere. So likewise, such type of ecosystem can easily be imposed. Wherever nowadays I'm going for lectures to different colleges, I must give one example. Recently, I've been to Sangam Nev, and there we were talking on this issue, and they said, sir, it is if possible, you can send the faculties from your psychology department. Happily, we extend our help to that college. Later on, there was a discussion with the secretary in different capacities. I am looking into IQAC, director of the university, and PM Usha program also. We are getting a lot of opportunity to, interact with Secretary Higher Education. That time we talk about this story, and you must be knowing during March, there was a circular for every institute, take efforts in the direction of mental well-being of the students in your institute. So I think, small thing, this is also one of the mentoring activity. At different level, we could able to mentor. For example, looking at the experiences in my department, we try to put them into convincing our higher authorities for building one program. Then same idea I need to present in front of the Secretary of Higher Education, Higher and Technical Education, Maharashtra, convinced him based on these two examples, so that they allowed us to build the Center for Stress Buster. and recreation. Then same idea I need to present in front of Secretary Higher Education Government of India. And they finally agreed and they sanctioned this project. So see, mentoring can be in different perspective with different entities. Example one we took, and then that example should not be repeated. For that purpose, these efforts we are taking. So whenever you are looking yourself in a role of mentor, you need to think very, different uh, chains of or links of these mentoring activities. Mentoring is just not concentrating or your student or ward. It can be much more than that. So likewise, now we'll come back to this slide. So impact of effective mentoring is improved academics, I told you, higher research output and innovation, stronger emotional resilience in students, and a culture of excellence and collaboration. So what examples I was telling you, university authorities, different department, head of the department, other professors, vice chancellor, registrar, pro vice chancellor, secretary higher and technical education, director PM Usha program, director RUSA, Minister of Higher Education, Government of India. So in that way, we try to put into a culture of excellence and collaboration with them, so that we are now building this center for stress buster in our university. So such many type of layers you can have in your making your mentoring effective and impactful. Okay. Now, years to come, this center will help in mentoring students for their mental well-being. Likewise, a lot of layers we can create, and finally, the beneficiary will be at large our students. Then, now very important aspect and very sensitive aspects we are discussing related to mentoring, effective relationship among members. When you are talking about the member mentoring, you are not like you are thinking isolatedly. Means I'm best mentor, what I need to think about others, forget. It should not be the thinking complex of anyone. So we need to think mentoring into a team, as a teamwork, as a family, as an institution. All factors of these things or members, all these systems need to be considered, and we need to build a good relationship among these members. So whenever you are building a culture of mentoring, you need to set a mutual respect among the members of different stakes. Clear expectation should be there. So whatever you are doing, so you must have very much clarity in your thought process, so that every layer should not have collider between them. Then open communication is very important and always be respected. Active listening is very essential. One thing you just go on, dictating and others should listen. It should not be mentoring. Never expect the dictatorship. It always appreciate the active listening. Then constructive feedback from every segment is very essential. Without this constructive feedback, you can improvise yourself. Shared accountability is essential. Means I am only responsible for this. Instead of that, it is a teamwork. We failed, we won in that way. So shared accountability, empathy and support is very essential at many stages of mentoring activity. So that is the important. Confidentiality is, for example, one of my student is suffering with XYZ. If go on talking with everyone, he will become like a talk of the town. He will become a issue for everyone to discuss on, and that may put him into more negativity, and people will forget to share, whatever you are expecting. So that way, confidentiality is the soul of mentoring activities, is very essential. Then encouragement and independence is another task. I am doing in this way means everyone should do in this way. No, every personality may have different abilities, so let them explore their own. And that's why it is very important to have these activities in a very constructive way, and empathy and support should always be there for all stages. Just pardon me for a second. मी डेट सांगतो पण थोडा वेळाने call करेन. ओके, ते डेट फक्त फिल इन द ब्लँक कर. ठाकरे सरांना बोलतो का, नंबर आहे तुझ्याकडे? बरं. मी बोलतो त्यांना आणि आता सुरू होईल. बस थोडा वेळ. कोण आहे? फोनवर सांगतो मी, त्याच्यावर लिहून टाकते. ओके, स्टॅम्प मारून ते राहू दे तिकडे ऑफिसला ठेवतो. ओके, चालतं. So, confidentiality we were talking. Then encouraging independence and continuous evaluation means if I'm failing somewhere, so I must have ability to discuss it with others. Because of this way I failed, so this should not be repeated henceforth. And in that way, continuous evaluation and improvisation must be the part of the the pool of mentors you are having. So they must have this ability shared, and on a group basis discussion should always happen in maintaining the good pool of mentors in your institute. Then monitoring between teachers, HOD, head of the institute, and students. Mentoring is not like, at a personal level, I will do. Already I told you, okay, mentoring is meant for every stone of your building is also having the same, like a mentoring position for your students. Everything students should feel like it is my own home. This department is there to support me. Every part of this department is in my support standing here. So that's why, every segment must be part of this mentoring activity. So mentoring between teachers, so teacher to teacher mentoring should be there. If junior is coming, so all the senior teachers should treat him as a mentee. Then hierarchical but collaborative support is essential between teacher to HOD, between HOD to head of the institutes, and all this to their students. So there must be like a hierarchical but collaborative. That means I will order and you will follow. It should not be, although it should be a hierarchical, but must be collaborative. And there should be role clarity, means what one should do. It should be clear. For example, you are guiding one student today, and someday your head of the department will call him and he will say, what rubbish is talking, forget about all this thing, now follow what I am saying. It should not be. So that's why, there must be like a mentoring between all these factors first, and then they can be ready for mentoring to their students. Smooth communication flow must be there among all the members. Academic performance monitoring should be done at every stage, whether it is student, whether it is whoever. So academic performance monitoring will give you the clue that how effectively your mentoring activities working. Personalized student guidance is also possible, and that need to be done at student mentee mentor program at your department or at your college. Research and innovation support, that for that purpose we are having a different mentoring activities through innovation centers or incubation centers. Conflict resolution between any type of student, it can happen. I will tell you one beautiful example. When I was doing means I was guiding one of my student, that was the first batch of my students. So some students doing very nice, and it was like a 2007, 6, 7, 8 story. One of the student he was many time I was asking him, he is little lazy. So I was always scolding him. So one day he came and he said, sir, always you are talking negative about him. What I will do, I don't want to become a research scientist like you. I just want a degree and using this degree, I will get a job. So don't grill me. Likewise, sorry. So pardon me for a second. So he was several times he was talking, he said, I don't want to become a like a scientist. I just want degree. Because of this degree, I will get assistant professor and I will be happy with that. So in such type of problems, you need to very clearly talk about what is your objective, what is mean by PhD. That means whatever I am doing, you just wind up and put as a thesis and sign on it. So such type of conflicts also sometime you can have. Your objectives sometimes are very clear. For example, you want the best quality research from your student, and student just want a degree. So such time in such cases what happens? Student get a lot of pressure, and they feel like unnecessary he's suffering, making me to suffer. Sometimes his co-colleagues are submitting their thesis, publishing papers, and getting even getting done their viva everything. So peer pressure on such other students will go on building. And that's why it is very important, I must tell you, hierarchical but collaborative support must be there. Because if my student is doing on this same day he got registered for PhD and other guy is submitting within 3 years and he is just waiting to get his results because he is genuinely work. So such type of problems you will see very often, and that time I have seen sometime doing good results also student not getting job, and they are not so successful as compared to someone did something and in time he got some job. So for that purpose, whenever there is a mentoring activity, we need to always consider about the standards of uh, outcome. That always should be considered. Standard of outcome, that means one teacher is coming and he's just saying what I am teaching, just listen this and question will come out of this only. And one guy is taking like A to Z from beginning to everything, he's talking to his student, and finally he's not giving clue what question asks. That time student may feel the other teacher is become more popular, and in that way there will be competition. There will be like a negative feeling between about a genuine teacher and a superficial teacher. So in such cases, there must have better understanding between faculties, and such problems should be dealt at the institutional level or at HOD level, so that your students will be equally benefit from every one of your teachers. So it happens very oftenly in a department or in a college. Some teachers are so popular. I don't always claim ki they must not be, mean they are not good teachers. There are better teachers also, because of their good teaching they become most popular to students. But sometimes some shortcuts also been used, and such activities then become delimiting factor in case of mentoring activity. Such teachers will be more sweet talking, and sometimes they will very much adjustable to the mentoring activity. But in future, when your student is getting a real issues, that time these mentoring activities will become helpless. And that's why we need to look into hierarchical but collaborative support. Role clarity must be there. What is my role? Becoming popular among teachers should never be the role of any teaching faculty. It should be more focused on the outcome of one student's program. Then skill development and leadership. There are nowadays a lot of programs we are having, even like skill embedded degree programs also we are putting now, apprenticeship and all that. Then positive learning experience should always be there in the department. So such environment, we are responsible to create that. What example I was telling you, that is the always a negative example of creating the learning environment. Then holistic development comes with one thing, not having only good marks in subject. It is not should not be the role of a student. Holistic development means he should have equally skills, he should have good research abilities, he should have innovative thinking, he should have writing, talking, everything. In every sense my student should come up. And that's why this mentoring we need to consider in a different way. So holistic development is expected at the end from all type of segments involved in the mentoring activity. Then mentoring between student, non-teaching, support staff and teachers. So mentoring always we take in a very small sense or very conservative way. Mentoring means I am a teacher and I got assigned with 5, 7 students, so I'm just guiding them in one room, and they will come with their problem, and I will try to help them. And this should not be the way. Mentoring should happen at every step. That will help you in, building your better future of your students. And one tradition can sit at your institute. So integrated support system must be there, so that whoever student is approaching, so people will talk very nice, appreciate him, and try to help in their own capacities. Smooth academic functioning means from beginning, from applying, that time only students are getting lot of issues in not having, not having proper website, though not finding the registration portfolio, not getting registered, uploads not happening. Finally, something went wrong and his money has gone, and he is assuming himself got registered, but in reality it is not. So likewise, smooth academic function. Then he joined, there is no class on time, teachers are not coming on time, practicals not happening, no pune, no supporting staff. So smooth academic function is also very important, because that, habits are always linked for the better mentoring. Means student will understand the value of time. There, when you are following it, your student will follow it. Student centric approach must be there in every academic setups. So students are first because they are there, that's why we are here. So that feeling we should have in every segment to your sweeper also. Improved communication means how to talk with the new coming students. How he is appearing doesn't matter, but our approach should be uniform to whether it is male, female, very advanced one, or very, like illiterate looking, doesn't matter. Our approach should be, communication approach should be very nice with improved one. Administrative monitoring is also an important task, which is always putting students in negative side. For example, he is coming for filling the fees or submitting documents, or sometime he wants some TC, or sometimes he wants certification. People never bother about helping students. So that administrative mentoring is also one of the important tasks, and we need to teach the mentoring to our non-teaching staff also in your institute, your college, or your university. Behavioral and social guidance we must have for our mentors as well as our mentee. Bridge between student and faculty, somewhere we need to consider this bridging the gap between the student and faculty. Accessibility and approachability should be there for any type of mentoring activity. Skill development support and holistic development, again, for between teaching, non-teaching teachers, for everyone, these activities should be interlinked. So mentoring is just not a guidance. It is the transformational partnership shaping the next generation of innovators, educators, and leaders. I think this is also, these images can tell you like 1,000 words about one image. So mentoring can be not only happens in your department or in academic setups. Mentoring can happen at any stage from your birth till your death. You can play either role. Initially, you will get mentoring. Simultaneously, you can become mentors to others. So always understand what ability your mentee is having and what abilities your mentors were having, and how you picked up these activities. You must be knowing one thing. Those who spend their life 4, 5, 6 years life with your PhD supervisor, unknowingly several things you learn from your supervisor. It is like a non-formal education, and that you are putting in your sense, and now you are, when you are talking to your students, teaching in class and going addressing the gatherings, that time unknowingly many things from your teachers are coming, and reaching to your audiences. That means mentoring activity always go in positive direction in enriching the lives of your mentee. We should be careful. If I am doing some mistakes in my mentoring activities, these mistakes will be definitely propagate to your students. And that's why I need to have very responsible for conduct in my behavior as a mentor. So responsibility of mentor is huge. As compared to that, mentee's responsibility is very negligible. And that's why I think this lecture should be for you. I'm showing some of the figures here. Everyone can recognize them. I think these are the best example forever. Doesn't matter time scale, but these are the best mentors who has set the examples of their success. We must salute to such type of mentors. India is really looking to have such mentors. But whoever successful mentor today you are seeing in the role of mentor, he must have some mentor who is much successful than him, or he has put his efforts in making him successful. Now we know Bill Gates, or Joe, many successful people, but him only. We don't know who was his mentor. That much capability his mentor was carrying. So mentors are silent players. They need not get popularity. They need not require even popularity. They need not die for getting recognition. Mentors should be like a catalyst. It will enhance the life of his mentee, and quietly he will get out of his role. That should be the ability we need to build in ourselves. I must share with you, first mentorship start your home. The left hand side, first top image is my brother, who is my first mentor. He was a professor, so he used to take me to various conferences and all that, put a lot of insight in scientific way that has helped me in nurturing my career as a scientist. Later on, one of my colleague who was my master's, hostel mate during my master's studies, Professor Vikram Khilare, he is my professional mentor. He helped me in dealing the professional life from studentship till now. Whenever I am getting question, whenever I am getting issues, first name coming to my mind is these two person. Later on, as I started growing in the academics, I got a third mentor whose name is Professor Arun Ninave. He was an advisor, Government of India, Department of Biotechnology. He advised me to apply for one of the fellowship and one project grant in DBT, and he helped me how to write proposal, and he has helped me in getting that funds also. Based on that, I could able to build my, project portfolio. Initial project was just 11 lakh rupees, and now my laboratory has crossed almost 100 crores grant. Beginning happened with my mentor Arun Dinave. Later on, I got another mentor. His name is Paul Hebert. Before that, I got Benny Ron as my mentor from Israel. He is a wonderful human being, and he always having positive words. He was inspiring me, and he always saying one thing: "Yeah, GD, you can do it. It's possible for you. I know you can do it." Likewise, he has pushed me in many initiatives, and still he is helping me in that role. Then later on, my postdoctoral guide, Professor Leo David, he is one of the few means very beautiful mentor I got in my life. Today also, whenever I am doing something in my laboratory and getting some questions, so he will say, GD, don't worry, I will help you. Give me little time, I will help you. We will solve problem. That assurance, sense of assurance, put you to very, very positive way. And whenever I am having some questions, he is very straightforwardly talking in something. He is telling me, GD, this is wrong. Whatever you did is wrong. I don't convince with what you did. So likewise, clarity is having. So I used to think 100 times before sharing something to him. He do it is having some concerns. So I need to think 360 degree. Then and then he will, he will appreciate the things, or he will help in that way. But he has bring a lot of clarity to my thought. Next, my supervisor is David Heimer. He is from University of Hawaii. Very nice human being, and he was an advisor for Jurassic Park. You must be knowing, scientific advisor to that. He is a molecular genetist. Very positive, encouraging person. And sometime I am sending my papers for review. If you look at my profile and take any of the paper, you will see he is one of the in the acknowledgement, he will see him. He has helped me in language correction and doing that. He is now 78-year-old, but still, whenever I am sending my manuscript or some ideas, so he used to sit for hours together and help to advise me. Sometime I mentioned him in initial time, David, my manuscripts are getting rejected simultaneously. Why? What I should do? My English is good, or due to this English communication, I am getting rejections? Very encouraging answer he said. He said, GD, what you are writing now, 60% American can't write like this, American scientists. So you are well-to-do, means you are well awareness about the writing. So don't think about this. Sometime it matters like what subject, how you are putting, there you need to work. Language doesn't you need to work. So likewise, I am getting advice in 360 degree from these people. And third person on whose name I said, Paul Hebert Center for DNA Barcoding and Biodiversity Studies. He is my another PhD postdoctoral supervisor. His name is Paul Hebert. He's from Canada. He is a Cambrian scholar, very close to Nobel Prize. Last year, he got a Nobel Sustainability Award. So what relationship, mentor and mentee is having, this is a best example. He has many times guided me. Once I sent one of my manuscript for his opinion, and he found some sentences were verbatim plagiarism. Immediately he sent me and he said, GD, this is a verbatim plagiarism and I am really very disappointed with your approach. Whatever you are doing, I never appreciate these things and this should never happen henceforth. And you will surprise that was by mistake it happened from me. It is not like deliberately cut paste, but I try to pick up some words from some references and that become verbatim. So afterwards, I never got such question. Paul Hibbert, what relationship I must tell you. Paul Hibbert last year he applied for Nobel Sustainability Award, and he need some recommendation later from Asia. That time we will surprise. He considered me to recommend his application, and I am really proudful. I gave him recommendation to Nobel Sustainability Award, and he got award. So first phone call he made to me and he was mentioning, GD, I'm really thankful because of your recommendation later I got a Nobel Sustainability Award. So that greatness, a mentor must have. We must appreciate whether really it got from my later. There are many factors. He is a genius person. He is he got an Order of Canada in 2023. So he is having a lot of awards to his name, but still what gentleness, what grounding abilities he is having, amazing. These people are, really mentored my life in many way and make me to do some good work in academics, which has given a lot of recognition to my university, to me, and to society. So mentoring activity is not like stop at one level, your education finished. In personal life also, lot of time people advises and help you in getting rid of this. All these mentors, we don't have really boundaries for anything to share with each other. And we are very sure what another is talking, definitely every one of us respect each other. That has long term. My this mentoring means myself as a mentee, that journey is long back from 2004. It started from the external members, and from my birth it started to my brother. So everyone is having mentor in our lives. We are nurturing because of our mentors. You need to consider who is your mentor. Scale it today and make the journey of your life comfortable. We will have little discussion here. If you agree with me, we will have little discussion and then we can switch over for the another lecture. If you are having some questions, you want to discuss with me something, I will be really happy. Some experiences, if you are having, you want to share me something, you want to criticize some part of this lecture, I will be really happy to be here to listen you and to improvise myself also. All has gone or you are there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone want to share something? So should I go with the next lecture then? If no, you are not interested to talk something on this. Okay, so we'll quickly start with another lecture. I need to be little quick in this another lecture. I'm going to talk about the ethics in research. Is that okay?
Yes, okay, sir.
Fine. My screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you read this? Can you read this now? It's you are seeing the same screen what I am seeing. Ethics in research.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So now we are seeing the ethics in research. Another important area need to be dealt by the young faculty members so that in future they will have smooth journey of their academics. So you must be knowing we had a great tradition of culture and values and innovation. You must be knowing pre-independent India and post-British era also. And in ancient times, the India is a country which is known for their innovations. Innovations related to the discovery of zero, innovations related to the uh, formation of metals, that metal alloys, innovation related to the space knowledge, innovation related to mathematical skills, innovation related to the architecture, traditional knowledge related to medicine and medicinal practices, even traditional knowledge related to the first surgery ever been done on the human beings and human treatments. So all these things were first done in India. No other world was knowing it. So this was our tradition. But if you look after Britishers came and left, I think we left abilities to do innovations and to do the things first. I think majority of the things now you can see these abilities, innovation, innovative thinking, creativity, all these things are shifted to the Western part and we become just followers. Look, important thing in India, we are having now more than 2,000 universities, 38,000 colleges, degree colleges and all that, over 250 research laboratories, and many other research centers and agencies are working. So thousands and thousands of scholars we are producing. Then we are like faculties, in lakhs of faculties we are there. But we don't got any Nobel Prize in research, means science and technology related. It is a dream for of every Indian for almost a centuries. The Nobel Prize, whatever we got, they are for different purposes. But for science, usually who the scientists who belong to India and staying here and studied here and got Nobel Prize, this becomes still like a still a dream for every one of us. And I think in another sense, maybe I'm wrong, but somewhere we are lacking the ethical practices. That may be one of the major reason we are not reaching to the excellence in science. Now you can look at the most populous nations on the earth. We are topping. We are at the number one place. We surpass China long back. And that way, if you look, we are having several things. We are having most populous people. We are having most numbers of graduates. We are having more numbers of educational institutes. But what Western world is looking to us? It is like a tropical researcher is being in academic mirror. Our face is really so ugly being witnessed by the Western world or the developing nations. Why this is happening? There are many factors are responsible. But again, coming back to the ethics is one of the important thing. So 10 leading countries in Nature Index, if you see, Here in top 10 countries, we are not there. United States, China, Germany, and very, very small countries like UK and Japan, France, Canada, they are the part of these 10 leading nations in nature index. So rank 1 to 10, we are not there. So China is getting ground there, and now China is reaching to very close to excellence. But we are being pushed, very badly. So see another part of the story. The countries leading the world in scientific publications. We are at the third position. China is first, United Nations is second, and we are at third position, having huge publication. But our global share is 5% in that. Top one, China is 20%. Second one is 16%, and we are just 5%. And then small countries, look at Japan, look at Italy, look at Russia. So 5% and almost Italy 3%. Look at the population, look at the number of institutes, look at the number of graduates. It means in scientific publication also, whatever share we are saying, majority of the junk is coming because we are not in top leading countries. Then output of publication per country per million inhabitants. You can see we are at the bottom. And among these, almost like 25 different countries, we are at the zero. So per million, we are publishing less than one paper, almost like a one paper per million population, which is very less. In Denmark, you can look at the country, very tiny, equal to 2 districts of any state in Maharashtra. They are having per million population, they are publishing around 90 publications. So very huge number, surpassing even majority countries, including US and China. So somewhere we are lacking the track of good publications. I believe responsible conduct of research, in other words, the ethical considerations may be very essential, which been not followed in majority of the cases, which is putting us into negative background. And that's why we are not so successful in the canvas of research. Lot of time I feel like I'm very good person. Why I need to worry about the research ethics? We always talk about others. What wrong I did, very rarely you will see people are sharing with you. And that's why always I feel I am very good means I am doing everything good. So why I should worry? It is not like it is true that you are a good person. You can't do much about the bad person who is determined to do evil things. However, research ethics isn't just or even mostly about bad people doing bad things. Ethics is for everyone, bad as well as good. Ethics means you need to have a responsible conduct of research. And that's why you are seeing my slides properly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So it's also about the imperfect people doing imperfect things for a variety of reasons. So their ethics plays an important role. Many time what happens, imperfect people doing imperfect things, and for a variety of reasons, they are responsible for doing these things. So what are the things here? Socially acceptable practices we later deem wrong. This is also very commonly happening. Means these we are doing like this only forever. This is very common example. You will see our common answer. You will see from the people in our country. Then sometime accidents also can happen. Then misdemeanor means level wrong that we try to justify. I did something wrong, but I will try to justify it. No, how it is correct. So this misdemeanor behavior you will see very often in academics. And for that purpose, people are taking a lot of shortcuts, missing something, especially when new methods or technology. We don't have this chemical was very expensive. This facility was not available. Like a lot of reasons we try to give. One can become involved in research ethics violation through the wrongs of others. Sometimes it happens, no, means I did, so my student will do that way. Sometime I will do wrong things and I will see I did means I will never consider whether it is wrong or correct. I will try to, put this burden on my student, do in this way. Although it is wrong, student can understand, but sometimes they don't have that much openness, or you don't create that environment, and then wrong things happens. Sometimes the right thing to do just isn't clear. You don't know how to do it, and that's why, because of lack of collaborations and building the group discussions or proper mentorship of guidance, sometimes no, you do right thing, means right thing, you were doing in a wrong way, because you don't know the way how to do it. Self deception and other psychological tendencies sometimes people are having. For example, one of my student, a PhD student, he was working with me, very intelligent, but his always intention, whenever he's doing, he was always believing in first go I should get a success. As he's not, he's failing and failing and failing after 1, 2, 3, 4 try, then he start manipulating. That was his ability he built from beginning he was having. I try to eliminate, but whenever something is coming to, failures, he was always feeling get rid of these failures, and then he's manipulating data. So such self-deception or maybe psychological tendencies also happens with imperfect lead. So here we need to consider very nicely. Professional pressure also a lot of time put you in negative side, and make you to forget the ethical conduct. Publish or perish. Sometimes no, we also learn, our teachers also mentioning publish, otherwise perish. If you don't publish in time, then it will be of no use. It will not remain as a time relevance. So likewise, you do rush, and sometime in wrong way, you you publish, and later on you feel like what I did, because that become like an embarrassing thing. Securing job, there is a advertisement coming, so I need to publish something, and that way, because I need award, sometime I need promotion under CS scheme, sometime I want to become vice chancellor, or sometime I want to become dean or professor. So that time I will rush to publish. It's very commonly happening, since I am handling at my university IQAC. So a lot of CS proposal coming for their uh, uh, checking their self appraisal report. So I have seen a lot of people having first for becoming professor, last 5 years not having, but 1 year he is having 10 publications. So likewise, we are doing so many overlooking the ethical things. Institutional pressure, and nowadays every institute is participating into NAC or NIRF or other rankings, framework. So there also you need to have 2 papers every year. Likewise, your superiors or your boss used to talk, and then need to create a lot of pressure. Keeping up with peers, how I am good with than others. So that competitiveness also sometimes making you to make the mistakes. Securing grants, I want grants, so I can make false claim and get grant. Sometime I will give tall assurance to them, the selection committee for the projects, and I will try to secure this one. Then being first to a discovery, that rush is also very important. So being first to discovery, sometime in this, like this is like a very bad cycle. A lot of people get trapped in our country in such things, and uh, become, they need to leave the academics also, it happens. I'm going to share with you these examples. So all these all these things, publish perish, securing job, institutional pressure, keeping up with the peers, securing grants, and being first to the discovery, all these things are encouraging shortcuts and misdemeanor, or even worse to that, manipulating data or making verbatim plagiarisms. So these are the things which are behind the bad practices or overlooking the ethics. What are the moral foundation of research? Doing good for human, animal, the plants, planet, future generations, via the pursuit of truth of and knowledge. These should be always the moral foundation, pursuit for truth and knowledge. Whatever you are doing, our duty to respect individuals, whoever working, whoever in your field, or who are criticizing you, whoever your supervisor or your referee, whatever. So we must have, it is our duty as a researcher to respect individuals. Our possible duties to animals you are using in the experimentation. We always need to be faithful with the animal on which your experimentations are there. Even society need to have that faith, because what drug today I am taking, what medicine I am taking, somewhere some animals have sacrificed for them. And that scientific process, I must respect it. Then and then we can build a good society. Our obligation to society is really essential, because society finally is funding for all your research. Every penny is coming from the society. And that's why, moral foundation is to respect all these things. Once you will have moral foundation to respect all these 7, 8 factors, definitely we will never overlook the ethical consideration in your research. Various obligations derive from these foundations. They can be the tension with one another. But finally, following it will definitely build a moral foundation of you in doing good research. Streaming research at the pursuit of truth is very important. That streaming is really or for the sake of pursuit of truth. So the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. These are the 3 terms very much confusing. The truth means be honest about your research. The whole truth means omission of the part of research finding might constitute research misconduct or violate other moral norms. So that time I am just omitting that part and putting only the findings, which were not part of the misconduct. So that is called whole truth, where I am very intelligent, but I am cheating the soul of ethical considerations. Then third, very intelligent part, more intelligent part is coming from the nothing but the truth. It is also dishonest to puff up one's result by adding irrelevant or misleading information or overstating their significances. Lot of time we do. Very commonly in your review literature, lot of time you can see you do such type of things, and this is called dishonesty. We need to train our students in this way. That's why the truth is rarely pure and never simple can appear. But in Indian scenario, whatever we are doing, majority of the places, the truth is rarely pure, is an example we can get. So to whom do we owe the truth and why? The public for its funding. We must be truthful. Individual research participants out of respect for their autonomy. For that purpose, we need to be really owe the truth, faithful to them. Colleagues and collaborators whose research may be based on our research. Because one day you are doing something, next day someone will take forward it. And that's why we need to consider our colleagues and collaborators. We need to be truthful for them. For example, once one advanced farmer came to my laboratory and he was asking me, sir, I want to purchase this date plantlets, very small one. And here I need to understand which is male and which is female in this date, because the males will not get fruits. Only female plants will get the fruit. And he was asking me, can you verify? Because date today we will plant and after 10 years it will start fruiting. And that time if more females I will get more production. If more males, there will be no production. So I said, I will do it for you. And then I asked my student to search out some of the molecular markers which can differentiate male and female date plant. So one of my students, she took over this work and she followed some paper which were published by some reputed institutes in one country. She worked on it for months together. And every time what results mentioned in the paper, same protocol we followed, we are not getting results. So one day with frustration, I asked him, okay, what you are doing for many days, you are just staying with that date problem. Why you don't share with me what results you got? She said, honestly, every step I have followed, but we are not getting results. What been mentioned in the research paper, I am following. I said, one day we will do it together. So I was also present for that experimentation and no error we found. And finally, results were negative. Then I said, which paper you are following? Show me. That was a Chinese paper published from Chinese journal only, which was totally misleading paper. So we wasted almost 1.5 lakh rupees on this experimentation. 6 months time has gone. That farmer was shouting at me because he was waiting to buy the these date plantlets so that he can plant. So how many people were suffering with this because of misconduct of one scientist? Later on, we request your journal ki what he mentioned, you call his whole data and withheld that paper. Surprisingly, this paper been later on retracted. But that was not retraction, journal's retraction. Author himself has taken that paper back. So sometimes people, safeguard also, sometimes for the sake of country, larger benefits, sometimes relationship between them. But I think the truth for the society. Society, I'm talking at a large, like society means not China and India. We are talking about everyone. So somewhere we are, are misdemeanors for that. So that behavior we need to change. Such many examples are happening around us. So funding institutions, we need to always be truthful to them because they are funding, they are just looking at 7-8 pages your proposal, and based on 7-8 papers, they are funding you in crores. Their faith, what you wrote, they feel, this is a scientist and what he said is correct. Means he is talking in his perspective. He must have expertise, he must have truthfulness, and that's why he reached to this level. We must not ask question on this, on his faithfulness. They believe in you and give you crores of rupees. If you are not faithful to them, that means you are not faithful to anyone. And likewise, truth is very essential, and truthfulness is essential to the various segment. Then research institutions and universities, our employees, for employment, resources they are providing you, and because of their reputation can be affected by what you do. So there also we need to truthful to them. So in together we need to truthful to public, we need to truthful to research participants, we need to truthful to colleagues, collaborators, funding institutions, your institute, your university, your college, your employer, what resources they are providing. So everywhere we need to be truthful. And if this journey is followed, definitely you will not dare to do some manipulation or misconduct in your research. But areas of research ethics, why people are overlooking, specifically most populous country from Asia and Africa are really at the top. So research of ethics, usually areas of research where misconduct is happening is research misconduct, where people are very popularly doing falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism. Means taking information, altering it, and falsified data. Fabrication, that means sometimes you are playing with the images or exposing, sometimes superimposing. Likewise, plagiarism, that means someone's data you are taking and just altering little thing here and there and putting something. So what he is writing in what prospect you don't know, and you are following your own prospect for his idea. That way, this become a research misconduct. Collaboration issues, authorship, always this is very commonly happening in India. Data ownership and management also. So there also, who should own the data, who should be the first author. A lot of issues are coming. Recently, one story happened in our university. One of the professor, he was asking his student, ki, I am little bit busy, you submit paper behalf of me. And let us see. So he has submitted paper behalf of him, but he put himself as a corresponding author. Then now it is becoming a big question. If that supervisor complain to journal, it will be bad part on him also, because he is complaining about his own student. But student don't consider this. So ethics are violated at many places in our country. Peer review process also, you must be knowing the story happened in one of the university in Maharashtra. So what they did in peer review, usually they do two type, blinded and one is a known, means two names you can give and two names editor in chief will select. So what they did, when they are putting this peer review process, the faculty who publishing the paper, they submitted to one reputed journal in Australia, and they put the name of very high stature professors. Their review can never be rejected by them, but they manipulated the emails of this professor and they sent that paper. So happily, looking at the professor name happily, journal editor has sent that manuscript to them. And then same falsified email address they used, and they submitted the review report. When that editor chief was reading at the review report, he was so surprised. Okay, how come this much, positive and without any considerations, how review been wrote by one big professor who is well known in the field. So he immediately called that professor. He said, "Thank you, how things are going on, and I must thank you for sending the review. But I surprised with the language in the review and the points you wrote. I really surprised with them." Then that professor said, "What review you are talking about?" He said, "XYZ." Then he said, "No, no, I have not got any review letter from your office, and I have not reviewed any paper and not submitted any report." It was so surprising for the journal. Then he tracked how it happened. He found mail, the faculty in university in Maharashtra. He manipulated email address very little so that it appears like original. And accordingly, they got both the reviews. So they finally, journal editor was so angry. He communicated to vice chancellor of the university. They put one committee, and 3 professors have been suspended. So see, we need to be very careful about all these processes. Then conflict of interest and or obligation also very important. Sometimes private companies are coming and they will tell you ki very happily they will invite you for some tour. They will put you in big 5-star hotels, give a lot of amenities, and slowly they will ask you, ki, sir, can you investigate this problem, because our industry is losing these things. If I am getting a positive remark, maybe our industry can have good support. Likewise, sometimes they ask researchers to manipulate. So conflict of interest come like this. You are working on someone's funding and then try to favor him. So that is also unethical practice. Complicity in funding sources. Sometimes you will get funding from many sources for one work, and then issue come. Who is the owner of IPR? Likewise, complications can happen. So that is also in the area of ethics. Animal subject research. So how many animals should be used? Minimum animal use should be there. Refinement should be there. So 3 R's should be followed in animal research. So a lot of time, without consideration, you are selecting large number of animals and then sacrifice them. Unethical. Human subject research, sometime you are not telling. It is a big journey. In India, a lot of drugs people are talking about. A lot of drugs companies are sending unofficially to many hospitals, and they are doing clinical trials on their patients without giving them much idea. I think such type of practices also coming under the ethical consideration, because ethical rules are very stringent in Western part or developing countries as compared to developed countries. That's why a lot of clinical trials are based on African, Indian, or Chinese citizens or human beings. So their rules are not very stringent, and there is no follow. So that is also research misconduct, where you are staying and where you are conducting, on whom you are conducting your, your clinical trials. That also lead to the misconduct. Now, in research misconduct, we will see a few examples one by one. One is like fabrication of research, fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism. All these are coming in the research misconduct. So, in proposing or performing research, reviewing research proposals, or in reporting research results, at all these stages, fabrication, falsification, or plagiarism is a research misconduct. So sometimes research misconduct does not include honest error or difference of opinion. So if it is honestly happening or difference of opinion, so that is not included in it. It has been understood. But in majority of the cases, it is happening very commonly. You can see like lot of articles been retracted. So once any article is retracted means that is never been taken back from the journal site. It will there, and they put one message like this. This article has been retracted. An expression of concern has been published for this article. Why this been retracted? Everything they give. And this will remain forever. Nowadays, if your article is retracted, your institutes will get negative markings in ranking system. Then another thing, sometime in many countries, if your articles are retracted for sheer overlook of ethical considerations, you will never get any scientific funding. Other journals will not show interest in publishing your research papers. You will literally become like get a boycott of all academic procedures in research. So this is very bad practice, and you will become like a faceless. Retraction watch is one of the beautiful site, and that is been done by public funding. So they always keep eye on what research paper been published, and they try to evaluate many journal research papers, and then they try to put retraction watch. They very carefully do research on your paper, and they put into their website, retraction watch website. Once your paper is coming into retraction watch website, lot of people try to search it, and then such papers will be eliminated from citations, and people will provide information also. This is wrong, that is wrong, he is having this much publication. Once this series has started, sometime 30 papers been retracted in India from one institute, from one person, because it become your habit. So it is very important, data faking or data falsification. So retraction was been done. So here we can have one appropriate thing to say, there is something very wrong with character if opportunity controls your loyalty. So this is, I can see very oftenly in many cases, in many type of institutes in our country, this sentence is very much relevant. So this should never be the part of any researcher's life. Your loyalty means your character should not get changed with the opportunity, and your loyalty should not be at the top. So we will see some examples which are very much relating. Usually in scientific research, image manipulation is very common, that too in biological sciences, in physical sciences. Data fabrication and falsification is very common to every branch of research. Data omission suppression is also very common to every research. Plagiarism from work of others could also be ideas gleaned from peer reviews and used as one's own work. So these are also very commonly happening. Someone is sending proposal to me, so I will get an idea, and based on that idea, I will pop up my project in a different perspective. That has happened to me also in one funding agency. And then third thing is a sabotage. Sabotage means a very beautiful example. Sabotage I had that time I was working in one of the university in US. One of the Indian guy, he sabotaged others' research so that they should not progress more than me. So all these examples are the research misconduct. You will see in 2019, 127 papers from India retracted for image duplication and manipulation. 127 papers just for image manipulation. And 85 papers of more than 300 scientists from Indian biological science research, which appeared on the retraction watch list in the first year, very first beginning of the retraction watch. So likewise now, very big institute in India also got retraction. To name few of them is a CDFD in Hyderabad. Very popular premier institute got retraction. You must be knowing some retraction stories in past 2 years. And that retraction is just for getting more citations. People were doing something manipulative work. This Elizabeth Pick is a founder of Retraction Watch. So she was actually librarian, and she has done a lot of things. You must be knowing in India, University Grant Commission has done a lot of efforts in January 2022 in education sector. They release one order. There should be research misconduct, research conduct policy of every institute. lot of people just complied with UGC by doing something and putting it on the website. That remain there. We are in our laboratories doing the misconduct in our own ways. So there was a very nice article that UGC's half-hearted attempt to teach research ethics, because that been never carried forward. But about 35,000 papers may need retraction for doctoral doctored images. In 2018, Elizabeth Brick was mentioning. Now that number has reached very views. So manipulation within a photo should always result in a retraction. And that way, a lot of places it happened. Some of the examples I'm showing here. Very fortunate and very, I feel proud to share with you. One of the paper we published, how we in India, how people are, torturing you or giving trouble you. You can see one of the paper I published in January 2019 was the top one, evidence of species complex in India and Ganpati. What happened when I published this paper, some people who are working on same idea in Pune, they got little hurt because I am working in their field. And out of jealousy, they give one letter to editor-chief of that journal mentioning the methodological flaws overshadow the evidence for species complex in Indialana Ganpati. Likewise, they wrote one critique to the journal, and the big journals are very open. So when they got this letter, immediately editor-chief of the journal, he said me that all communication, he said, ki, Dr. Khedkar, you need to give all proofs and everything about your paper. And if we found clearly there is a methodological flaw that has overshadowed the evidence for the species complex, we will retract your paper. Since we did this work for more than 4.5 years, and my student, she was working day and night, has, had taken tremendous efforts. And one big, nice practice or good practice we are following in my laboratory, that student, whenever he's coming in laboratory from his first day, we are maintaining his laboratory records. So every data was with me. She had almost like 6 registers for her PhD work. She has everything, every data been mentioned, and that we are restoring in the laboratory. As soon as we got this criticism, we collected all information, every evidence been sent to the editor-chief, and we responded the critics what these 2 people were mentioning. Editor-chief was so happy with our answer and whole proofs, whatever we said, and it has proved that we have not overshadowed the evidence of species complex in the XYZ, that Indiolana Ganpati species. He was very happy. He said, ki, Professor Khedkar, really I am very happy to see your answer, your proofs, and that was wonderful your laboratory is doing. Give me opportunity your later in response to the critics given, I want to publish it as a paper. We give him, and with a grace, we got another publication, and we prove that we are very perfectly working. And that is the reason, if I would be somewhere, I was not following the ethics in research, today I may not have this lecture in front of you. I feel proud on my students and our total team, who is working so ethically and, so perfectly following the soul of science. And that's why this example has proved ourselves to be, very nice feeling. The truth is like a lion that don't have a defend it. Let it loose, it will defend itself. Best example we were having, this story, it is all these 3 papers are available online. Anytime you can drop down, you can download them, and you can read what criticism been done, what mistakes we are having, and what answer we give, and we justify ourselves with full proof. So having considerations about the high ethical considerations in your research will always put you with the positive side. Sometimes collaboration issues also are being considered in the ethical considerations. Sometimes your student will, sometimes there is a fight between student and the supervisor, who is the first off. Intellectual property, again they fight. Some institute, some collaborators say, this is my IPR, you will say my IPR, he will say 30%, you will say I should have 70%. In that way, sometime, you will get lot of issues. Rigor with which the experiment is conducted. Sometime you should be sure about how experimentation being conducted. Good record keeping always help you in positive side for your resolving collaborative issues. Accurate calculation also very essential. Sometime recently it happened with me. We were calculating something, and I don't know, but the MacBook I am using, MacBook requires specific word program. So there, what Excel sheet I was using, some because of licensing issue, they were giving some manipulated results, and I was just creating everything, and suddenly I recognized that there is something wrong in my results. Then I tried to use another computer, and I found that this worksheet is giving wrong information. So likewise, I contacted to our IT team also. I was mentioning how come even though I am not my license has expired, but they should not give wrong answers. Oh, we wrote this to Microsoft also, and this word program also. Okay, this is wrong ethically. They should not do it, because if I rely on that calculation, I would have lot of issues in my research work. So likewise, we need to consider at every forefront and every front. You need to be very vigilant, so that you can prove yourself. Can you hear me properly now? You are there? Someone is there to respond?
If any question, participant?
Yes.
Sir,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir, yes.
You can see the slide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Authorship and
Yes, sir, yes.
credit.
It is collaboration issue, no?
Issue, collaboration
Yes, sir.
issue.
Perfect. So sometime authorship, no, in India, we give lab chief as a author, program director, sometime vice chancellor, sometime registrar, pro vice chancellor, dean, postdoctoral fellow. So always, we need to have very clear considerations about what should be the criteria for authorship. That should be policy of every laboratory or every department. Then next is coming like a graduate student, he was working, whether he should be given. Sometime undergraduate research assistant, sometime glassware washer also mentioned, no, I help you in your experiment. I was always washing hundreds of petri plates or something. It is not like that. That is their role. Animal caretaker will also sometime ask you, see, I help you in drug delivery and your animal experiment. I should be part. Authorship is not given on that criteria. Authorship, there are many different aspects we need to consider. Contribution need to be considered. These are like a helping in doing good research. That is their job. They are not going out of their job. That's why authorship should be considered very legitimate way based on your contributions and your thought process spared for the XYZ research. Another thing, sometime nowadays, majority of you might have examples of this. Okay, you put my name, I will put your name. That way, both of you will grow and having many multiple publications. This is ethically not correct. So we should have something different thing. Management and access of data. Here also very important. Sometime your student will carry forward data and he will say, no, I will not share with you. Sometime your colleague will take it and he will say, I missed it deliberately. Sometimes someone will come and delete your files. So very commonly it happens. So who owns the data? Who can make use of in the future? So that data management you need to consider well before starting experiment. Can lab notes and material be taken off site? Usually not. Because my laboratory was maintaining everything, that's why we could save ourselves. So whenever student is asking something, we are giving free of charge printouts or Xerox copies of that material. What responsibilities do lab workers and student have? We should have clear role. Student is coming and going out. So lab workers, maybe lab staff is there. So who is having what responsibility? You should have clarity of this thing. Student will always claim ki this is my data, this is my computer, I will put here. Always policy should be there, ki data should be there with the computers of the laboratory which are owned by the lab, not by the student. because sometimes student may lose his bag or sometimes his computer may broken off or crack down. What you will do then? Assistant have in a documenting lab work. So you must have some people who can assist. There you can find build a good team of people who can make the management of your data. Then peer review also, I told you, sometime you are putting someone's name as a peer reviewer and you are getting peer review. So that is a wrong practice. Blindly we should select the people who are well known for their work in the field so that they can help you. Then intellectual property safeguarding is also very important. During review process, intellectual property CG review process hota. So people are going to snatch your idea. Usually not. Once you register, that means that IPR will remain with you. Sometime graduate student, they read manuscript on behalf of their professor. This is totally wrong. Usually this should never be practiced. And who should be your reviewer? For example, I am a professor, so I should not ask some graduate, I should not give some graduate student's name as a reviewer for my manuscript. I should see something who is very experienced and well known in the field of paper I want to publish. Likewise, you need to see conflict of interest is happening very oftenly, being paid to say something untrue, knowing that if you say something positive about company, that give you a grant. A funding agency may stipulate that they have a right to decide whether you can publish your findings or not. Ghost writing or ghost management in medical literature is rampant and raises these questions. Very commonly it is happening. Ghost writing means you are claiming something very wrongly. This drug is very effective. Like you must be knowing, recently one of the big pharmaceutical company by one famous Baba has been, banned by government of India. So that was a ghost writing, or whatever they were doing was a ghost management. So, one should be very careful in this. Conflict of obligation and conflict of interest. These are two different things. Obligations having duties of two or more parties at the same time. For example, the duty to research and duty to teach. So this is conflict of obligation. Not to mention the duty to one's family, friends, and self. Sometimes students are writing in their acknowledgements like many things. He has, that has, she has, he has. What is use of that? Only you need to be faithful to those people who has help in your experiment. Complicity and funding management, I already tell you. The moral issue beyond scientific misconduct can arise depending on one's field of research and funding source. So stem cell research, there was no policy. For example, GMO, there was no policy. Later on, now we are facing one problem associated with CRISPR-Cas9 related policy. There is no policy. So I need to be intelligent enough. I need to be honest enough in conducting my research. Even there is no rule, I should do responsible conduct. Weaponizable technology, DoD funding. For example, you must be knowing COVID-19 very badly. Whole world was suffering. So dual use biological agents and weaponizing technology. These two things, complicity funding, and it was a sheer misuse of objectives mentioned for the research and done for different purpose. So that can, small research can even make suffer whole world. And animal subject research also, why we use animals in research, you ask yourself, what are the arguments for or against the animal use of animals? Are there limit to how we might treat them? And if so, then what are they? What justifies these limits? Quick lesson in animal subject research is 3 hours. And then human subject research, may I use human subject in research? Ask yourself. For example, during COVID-19 for vaccine testing, at one stage we need to use human subjects. There was a big question why I should use, because a lot of people were dying and I need to do research on human beings. Time is very short. That's why that permission was given. What condition? COVID-19 was a condition. Nuremberg Code is the first attempt to answer these questions with guidelines for the use of human subject of research. This Nuremberg Code was having exactly the protocol which is followed in COVID-19 for making the COVID-19 vaccine. So what condition, what should be used, one should be important. At the end, what I want to say here, must think about the ethical components of what you do in research. Rules give little guidance on tricky situations. There, your own moral should work. You need to be more convergent with between line following meanings. Learning about research ethics can motivate you to want to do the right thing, but it will give you more tools with which to think about difficult situation in the future. This is just one thing you are getting. In difficult situation, how I can accurately do in any dimensional, I will not touch the ethical consideration at all. The Wild West World of Open Access Journal, one article was published when I was doing my postdoc in University of Hawaii. When this article published in Jeffville in Science in Cell journal, that time I was doing it. When I read this article, which is mentioning like Wild West World of Open Access Journal, where that paper was claiming in India, majority of the open access journals are originating from India, almost 80%. And they are giving fake addresses to different parts of the world. Over 80%. Can you believe over 80% predatory journals belong to India? So when this article was published, that time I was feeling no one should see in the university this article is published. I was feeling so, like a shame on me. I belong to a country where majority of the articles are coming in a ghost way in previous journals, and where they did a spy of many of the journals. So the journal is pretending itself from published from US, Australia, Canada, Germany, likewise. But they give wrong addresses from these countries, but their whole working is running through India, like Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi. Likewise, they are present, Ahmedabad. So these places, these journals are working, but show pretending they are like international journals. So likewise, lot of bad practices people are doing around us. We need to be very, very, very intelligent and very much, careful about doing good research, following ethical considerations and ethical policies at every stage of your journey of research. In that sense, you need to be your own Chanakya. There is no guideline, no ethical rule for everything what I said here. Majority of things you need to understand, and on ethical ground, you need to take intelligent decisions. That such things if practiced, we will certainly become a superpower in publishing good papers and developing good policies. Our papers are remaining papers just because we want to get benefit out of papers. Why they are not converting to technology? Because we are not putting that much efforts, or we are not serious to convert our research into technology. That seriousness, that innovation, and that creativity we have not shown to our research. That is the reason majority of technologies we are using are born in US, born in Western part, and that we are using here. How many technologies you can consider, you can think, and you can imagine on that? How many technologies we have that been used by Americans or that been used by the Western people or Western researchers? I think rare. How many industries we build based on our expertise, our imagination, our creation, and our technology development on our research? I think answer is fairly no. So in a larger way, I believe we are missing the track of ethical considerations in our research, and that's why we are not proving ourselves as a country of researchers to the rest of the world. If we want to prove ourselves to be researchers and good ethical people, we need to very moderate, we need to be very considerative in doing the research in an ethical way. I wish all good luck to all young teachers here for your research journey, for your academic journey. I believe both of the today's presentation, you will follow in your academic journey, your academic life. That's why I selected these two topics. I hope you understand what I am saying, and you understand what is the motto of all these presentations, sharing with you 3 hours. Thank you very much. If you are having questions, I will be happy to answer you. If not, again, I will be happy. Thank you. एकदा सर्व लोकांनी ऑनलाईन कॅमेरे ऑन करा तुमचे. ऑल पीपल कॅन पुट देअर कॅमेरा. Your names also. Why you are not putting your names? This is not ethically correct. On wherever we go on online, you should be recognized by your photo and your name. Even if this MMTC is asking you put your roll numbers, you can put in front to your roll number, you can put your name. So how many of you belong to science? Is anyone from science? Physics, chemistry, botany, zoology? I can see only 4 or 5 people online. So if you are having some questions, you can share with me. Otherwise, I will take your leave.
Any question, participant?
No question, sir.
Okay, I have any questions? Okay, all the best. कोण आहे MMTC चा कोण आहे इकडे?
Sir, vote of thank. I want to do vote
Okay,
of thank.
okay.
Okay, sir.
Please do it quickly.
Yes, sir. On the behalf of the MMTTC, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Director Mahajan ma'am and Deputy Director sir, I would like to thank to the Dr. G.D.Khedkar sir, who has given us 2 topics. First session has taken on the mentoring in academic. So in this session, sir has explained in the very deep level of the how to take a mentoring and how to do mentoring in the academic life or academic career. So definitely, sir, I would like to tell you, when we were learning in the college level, that time we didn't get proper mentoring from the teacher, from the expert. But that time there was not proper facility like, in 2020, NAP 2020, there was a good, some activities has applying in the current time. So mentoring is a very good part for the development, for the nurturing to the student also, and to the academic, to the faculty also. So we try to develop this skill in our career, in academic career also, and we will try to mentor to the student also. And in the second session, sir has explained ethics in research. So definitely it is a very important topic sir has delivered to us. Sir has given very excellent knowledge about the ethics in research. Sir has given more example about the like the different types of the false information taken by the researchers, and how we have to avoid that things. So definitely through this lecture, we become very aware about that, and in a day-to-day life, when we will try to do any research work or any project, any research paper, so we will try to apply that ethics in the research also. Thank you once again, sir, and thank you all the participants who has attended today's sessions. Thank you once and one and all present here. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.